All right, let's go over the Corinth Stadium that is tied to the second game of the 4-day weekend for the start of 2024 football season. All right. So it has 47,000. That 47 connects you to that presidency now. We're just going to scan this, folks, because it's so vast and I get lost in the matrix, so I got to keep this videos a little short. But the San Paulo, the PA is that Pennsylvania, and that speaker system, that custom amp, and the Brazil is the Abraham connection, the AZ for that alphabet connection, and the Arizona, the IL, the capital I and the lowercase l are a mirror of each other, and that's also the 9 and 12 letters. 47 for the election coming up, and the 2552, that's the 25 to the 2025 coming up to the 25 on 9/11 coming up in a couple years. So this is time. This 4-day weekend is tying in probably a 4-year span of time, and each of these games will or each day connecting these games, because if you notice there's a first game and then there's more games on the second day and third day and whatever, but these would be connecting to events or whatever, and then this where something could happen in one of these games, and then it goes from there, and then you have that great tribulation opening up and giving birth to these times or whatever. So this would be the second game for that Corinth, for the second Corinthians, and then Trump mentioned the 2 Corinth. Okay, so we see Trump's been mentioning the crash of 29. We see the 29 here. We see the clock 23:32 there for that 24 hours, those last seconds. The 28 for the peace deal, the 47 on the back side for the election coming up, the 311, all right, that ties to the COVID stuff for the first time, and then 311 also sings about these times coming up, and they're from Kansas, so that Kansas City barbecue and such will be coming up. The Executive Suites 89, the 89 port for the 89 now, and the King Spirit. And we're going through different 85 and 89 cycles for the rewind time frame and the fast forwards, and the actual play of the filming, edit, and release of the part 2, which is the 11. Okay, and then part 3 is the twin 11, and that's when you'll have double whammy shit coming in. But capacity, we already went over. Biden is a 747. All right, so we see the 747 connecting here with this, and then that 5 is the 5225, and that's connecting this to 2025. The 68 is an 89 with a flip on the back side, and we're in the sands of time for the flip-flops. Okay, and we've been tracking those on the old channel. And the 1980 is when it planning to build this twin T. All right, we're in that time of the 20 going back, but it's on that, see how it skips numbers? So this is where it like is it starts for the 20 rewind for the 89 for the flip on the 85, because it's 85, 89, and 90. Okay, so this is that flip around, but you start off with the 20, and then you fast forward to the 1, and then the 3, and then the 4. Okay, so that's just showing you how they're like doing fast forward, and you don't, the comma, the backstage, the second coming would be the comma. Okay, and the Alfredo sauce, well, we know what that is. Okay, and the AI Fred dough, that dough is for the Don's nuts, and that bread that he's going to be serving out of his baskets, and then the red is for the blood and the red party, and then the AI is for the AI and that I, and that's gathering all the people of this world. And then you have Fred, who is Trump's dad, Paul. So that's kind of Paw Patrol. And then Fred Christ Trump, that's his middle name, is his dad. So that's where the line of Christ and all that, where he's that begotten son, where he'll be called that Don Christ, or however the replay on these things going on. Because it's all a script, and these people are scripted after these things. So that's where everybody's been given the script through their religions and whatever, and they're going to be taken in as the extras on this second and third filming. And the third filming, those wild times, open up the 6 scores and 6 degrees of separation on the movie set per se, for all those overlays, and then that takes us into those final years and such. So let's jump down here. See the May Day going on there. You see a 420 here. That's for the Most High. And Jesus was the Most High. The perennial versus the annual. The rectangle shape. These, all these times we're living in are built up on these times. So the so-called occultic rituals of your sports and all those things, those are old candlesticks of the old time, and all those are going to be going out and judged as well. And this AC center, that's tying us to that DNC time frame. So and the AC cent, this is tied to the Antichrist and the money, and that sure is tied to the script, sure, for you knowing your role, and that T-U, Ray, that Trump, you, Ray, for he's like, oh, you gotta vote for me. I mean, there's no other choice, really. And the fun day, and that's the cacao, or that chocolate. And then we got that get, the 22, ARG, the gas, all right? So that's all going to be playing into taking out your foreheads, all right? Pulling the gas and those things. But these stadiums here will tell a story. And then you go to San Paulo. This will connect some stuff to that save Paulo, and that sew for that tailoring, and the wall on the back side with the win, the first letter on the flip side, that furs. That first is the flip, because the sheep, the actual beastmen, is the church. Okay, they're the ones who are going to be scared of technology, scared of this new America coming in, the new technology age, because we basically went from a pioneer age to an industrial age to now, well, we're going into the technology age, and the internet is just now giving birth, and the blockchain technology, the Web 3.0, the VR, all these things are just, it's all now coming. So as we're going into this time, and a time of rest in one way, but we're going into a time of utopia in another way, that's when the techno plays loud. And the Siri, that Siri is coming in, and she's so-called listening. When she's been listening, everybody's known these things, but now they're reporting it on your so-called main light, and that's when your light's going dark. Well, Fox News or CNN or whatever said it, so it must be true or whatever. And then that's that seer on the foreheads, and that seer is that light where it's taking out that old heaven, that new heaven that broke open, the technology heaven. That light's going dark because you're worshiping and you're living in those times of the old, and you're not realizing that you've already been doing these things and whatever else, and we're going to keep on ticking, but y'all aren't going to keep on ticking because that clock's ran out on you, okay? That tick starts biting, you start scratching behind your ear, and then that talk starts, and then it's just, you start leading the blind after that, and that's exactly what we got. But we got that Jesus priest, that 45 and the 55 on the backside, and that 45 is connected to your Trump 45, and you can't stop at 45, and the 55 is connected to that Make America Great Again, that coordinates on Back to the Future, and I am not led I lead and I led. That's part of that open arms for the raining of hellfire and bullets that Jesus comes in a way through the church. And then the led is also the lead for that hook, line, and sinker. So this is a port, you guys. So it's under a guise, under a cloak. And then this is part of the Alpha Global City for that alphabet. We saw that A to Z on there. In Brazil, the coffee, and then that first game is in the Kaufman in the Missouri. Let me see, Arrowhead Stadium, just to show you what it says. No, I won't be able to find it. Oh, Kaufman Stadium, with a part of Kaufman Stadium visible in the top left corner. Oh, top left, that's a section of the forehead. And then the top, the pot left, and those things. And then the left is part of that division. And then also I mentioned this one being mentioned, connect to the Dallas Texans. And then we see Dallas playing, when did they play? I got it written down here. 4/25, so that connects us to the 42 on that 4D 2 months, and the for the dragon giving the power or displacing the power now, as it's the last 6 months of its, well, now it's the last 4 months or whatever, September. Either way, so it's the last 3 or 4 months of the year, whatever it is, to where the dragon is displacing this power of the false prophet. And then as it does that, that helps bring in that great tribulation and those types of time frames where the church knows they're left behind. Once they know they're left behind, that's when the children of hell rise and all those types of other things. Where'd my thing go? So this is the Truman Show. Click off of that because I already did one of those. The Mac Crow, the May Crow, that's for that May Day event in Crow. Jeremy the Crow on Secret of Nim. Well, speaking at you right now, okay? The Far AI Lim May. The bear for that barrel, and that RI connects us to the hair, or actually that Barini connects us to the Harini, the Harris. All right. Anyways, we're not going to go over every little freaking word and connect all this to all the little different things, because that will just take forever. But this has the 46 connected to your Biden now, and that 47. Can y'all see that? Oh, no, you can't see it. 40, 23, 32, clock, tick, tick. 42 to 24 coming up. All right. The 9/2 Labor Day. The 9. The 9 is a 45, and then south, that snake, and then south is like going down per se for undercover. And then that second coming, and then I gotta wrap this up soon, getting to that 15-minute mark. The 46 is for the Biden now, 28 peace deal. The twin T7 for those two lights that Trump's shining as the capstone cornerstone, dividing and building. And then you have the 47 on the back side for Kamala. And then that W is for the 23, and that double U, because you're not going to know which way to go in that urethra. When you got to go up that urethra and pick a kidney to go to, the left or the right and such. So either way. The August 31, the 1, 28 piece deal right there. And then the 3, 1. And that 1 and this 1 make up the 311, and this 711 right there, okay, for that cross reference. And then the 1, 8 there for the 35 on the King Spirit there, okay. So either way, we'll end it here just because of time. Either way.